started experiencing some chest pains, and you know, I was concerned but not totally aware of what was going on. As the day went, it progressed. It got worse and worse. They were coming and going at first, and then basically they became consistent and stayed. I'm a logger. I work in the mountains, in the woods, so I had probably about a 3-mile trip to civilization, and during that distance, I had them phone 911 and had them, you know, the rescue squad meet me, and that was a decision that saved my life right there. If I would have waited and let my employer take me in, I would have arrived here and probably been too far gone.
I was in my EMS vehicle driving home actually from work and heard an Albemarle County dispatch to assist the Madison County unit with a patient experiencing a cardiac arrest in the northern part of Albemarle County. When that happened, I called the coordinator for Madison County EMS and spoke with him and asked him exactly what was happening, and he informed me that a patient with a heart attack was being transported to UVA.
I basically went flatline, and they had to, you know, do the shock with paddles. And when I come to, slowly regain consciousness, you know, only people I could see was the 2 ladies that were working on me, and a big bright light behind them, and all I could really see was their faces. And if it wasn't for them, you know, I definitely wouldn't be here. They saved my life that day.
Standard operating procedure in that setting is to pull over to the side of the road to stabilize the patient when a life-threatening issue occurs. It was one person, one paramedic in the back of the ambulance with the patient. They pulled over to the side of the road, and the EMS driver got in the back and began to manage the patient.
And EMS knew they needed to do an ECG on him because he fit that set of symptoms that says this could be a heart attack, even though he says it was heartburn. And then they knew that the ECG looked bad, and so they wanted to get the information to UVA, and they used their own initiative to fax it from a convenience store. And then when it got to UVA, the information showed us he was having a heart attack, so we hit the STEMI alert button. So we were ready when he got to the front door. Our ER nurses knew exactly what to do because they were following their checklist and going through the Upstart process. And then he was off to the cath lab within 6 minutes.
I know that everybody worked very well together. They were prepared for me when I got here, and you know, it was just a matter of minutes before I was on the operating table.
So everything was perfectly functional because it was so simple. Got STEMI, call UVA, UVA knows there's a STEMI, get ready for the patient, patient shows up, spends 6 minutes in the ED, and then he's off to the cath lab. So it worked perfectly, but it's like ballet. The easier it is, or the easier it looks, probably the better your ballerina. So that's how the two come together.
Definitely a life experience, a second chance, I feel like. I'm going to try and make good of it.